Hi, I'm Tonya Arnesen, Senior Pastor of First United Methodist Church in Jackson, Michigan, and this is Food for Thought on Friday, March the 5th, 2021. I have always dreaded difficult conversations with loved ones in my life, with my spouse and children, with my parents and siblings, with friends, with parishioners or members of my congregation. Perhaps a misunderstanding has created tension in a relationship, or my personal needs and desires have been at odds with a loved one's needs and desires. Occasionally, love has demanded some hard truth-telling. In my beloved denomination, I've shared difficult conversations with Christian leaders whose understanding of God and the human condition and whose preferred expression of faith and practice have been at odds with my own. And I've had difficult conversations with people I don't know. I've visited other countries where language was a huge barrier. And I've served in cross-cultural situations here in the United States where, despite shared language, our life experiences and worldviews have been vastly different. I dread difficult conversations, and if love and truth made it an option, I'd probably try to avoid them altogether. How about you? What is our psychological response to difficult conversations? I don't know about you, but my heart races. The blood rushes to my face, so I may appear flushed or angry. Perhaps my palms will sweat, or my mouth goes dry, and my stomach turns a bit sour. It's uncomfortable, you know? And yet, for all the discomfort I felt, most of these difficult conversations have ended up being redemptive. I've often been challenged to rethink my narrow assumptions. I've learned and stretched and grown in my appreciation and respect for other people. And when the truth was told in love, well, creative change and healing and hope have been initiated. This Sunday, we're going to hear a story from John's Gospel about a difficult conversation Jesus had with a Samaritan woman. The Gospel writer sets the scene. Jesus was traveling between Judea, where he had been ministering, and Galilee, which was kind of his home base. And instead of taking the customary long way around Samaria, he led his disciples straight through enemy territory. In the heat of the day, he stopped to rest at a public well. And a Samaritan woman, an outcast among her people, an enemy to the Jews, she arrived to draw water when all the other village women would have been at rest in the shade of their homes. To her utter shock, Jesus, this Jewish man, strikes up a conversation with her. It was a huge cultural taboo for a Jewish man to speak to a stranger, any stranger, let alone a Samaritan woman. This must have been a difficult conversation for both of them. I wonder if Jesus' heart raced. Did his mouth go dry and his palms sweat a bit? I suspect they did, as he was fully human like you and I. Did the blood rush to the woman's face in the heat of the day? Did her stomach flutter and churn as she engaged in this culturally forbidden exchange? Most likely, yes. But because these two were willing to overcome deeply held prejudices and simply talk to each other, the woman's life was changed. Her standing in the community was restored, and Jesus built a bridge of understanding and respect with his enemies, the Samaritans, who invited him to stay right there with him with them for a few days. My friends, when it comes to prejudice and division, our times are not so different from when Jesus lived and ministered. We continue to draw lines between us and them, whether by race, economics, religion, education, or sexual identity. We continue to define ourselves and others by the way we differ, instead of looking for ways we share in our humanity. Difficult conversations are always hard for us, but if done in a spirit of respect and love, they can also be redemptive. Bridges can be built, hardened hearts can be cracked open, and narrow minds can be stretched and changed. And when the truth is told in love, healing and hope can be unleashed in a hurting world. I hope you'll join us this Sunday as we think about giving up our superior and judgmental attitudes so we can take up acceptance and respect for others who differ from us. We'll share the sacrament of Holy Communion together in our sanctuary. And if you're worshiping at home, I encourage you to bring a morsel of bread and a sip of life-giving water so we can share in this holy meal together, wherever we are. Be blessed, my friends. Be well, and know you are a beloved child of God. Amen.